This program is mainly training people what is circular economy, what is decarbonization, what is carbon footprint, and how these concepts can be implemented in SMEs. My topic now would be to impart you the basic concept of circular economy. Why circular economy? Where from this concept came, and what would be our advantage, and how we can implement this circular economy. You know, you all have mobile, right? Mobile phone, you have a set of mobile phone. And what is the life of this mobile phone? What is the life of this mobile phone? How long you can use it? 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years?
3 to 5 years.
3 to 5 years, okay. And after that, what you do? Exchange or throw away, or it doesn't have any value to you, right? So these specs, whoever, what is the life expectancy of this spec? 1 or 2 years. Okay, so for somebody maybe 6 months, who are very fashionable, right? So what do? Now I have a new one, so I don't need the previous one and throw it away. Nobody. So this is a traditional concept throughout the world, that you have a product, you use it as long as it serves the purpose, and after that, throw it away. In some tradition, like tradition in India, say you have a book when you are in class 7, 8 or 10, you have a textbook and you pass that class. You have a chemistry textbook. What would you do, or what you had?
You give it to your younger brother.
You give it to your younger brother or your friend's brother, that look, this may be useful for you. Or do you throw it on the dustbin or waste bin? No. In furthest case, what you can do is, whenever the people come, or you can go to college street like in Kolkata. There are many streets like in different cities where old books are sold. So, this is the book, so will you purchase? The shops, they may purchase. If the private value is say 200, so they can give you 25 rupees or 50 rupees, depending on the quality and the demand of the book. You are very happy. And they will again make the business. So this is the concept of reusing it. Your shirt. So what you do, if you have a younger brother, after 2 years or after 1 year, it doesn't look nice. Okay, give it to him. He will take it. But if he is smarter than you, then he will tell that, okay, give it to me. He will give it to some other guy. Right? Reusing. But this one, once this is not fit for you, you cannot give it to him or her to use. No, because this will not fit. So then you should not throw it away. In Kolkata, we have dumping yard, like what we call dhapa. We had other dumping yards also previously, and I am quite sure for each of the cities where from you are coming, you have a very popular dumping site. Like in Tirupati, do you have it?
Yes, sir.
What's the name of that? The place?
2 to 3 spots are there.
Okay. In Mumbai, you have a number of, right? In Visag, very recently I had been over there last month. So in Kolkata, of course, we have it. In Chennai, you have it. So everywhere there are dump yards, because we people are very much interested that once this is not usable, throw it away. Where? Do you have a store? Yes, I have a store. Where is that store? Dump yard. And by this, each of the dump yard has become a big hill station. Right? It is discarded. You cannot do it now. What you can do? Whenever the life of a material is exhausted with respect to its intended use, like this has an intended use. Every product has its own intended use. Once that is over, the intended use cannot be done, extended, then you should not discard it as a material. As a product for intended use, you can discard because this cannot help you. But as a material, this is the material. As a material, you should not discard it. This is the concept of circular economy, a part of circular economy. Circular economy is a system level approach. Means the circular economy, when we are thinking that we will adopt it, it should be thought, if this is an organization, then everybody must think in the same line, to think in the same way. This is the first approach. There must be a system. He is telling something, she is telling something, I am telling something, and there is no direction. No. You must have a direction, you must have a system, you must have a procedure for implementation of circular economy. What is that? Development and a paradigm shift from the traditional concept of linear economy model or extract, produce, consume, dispose and deplete. EPCD2. So, first is extract the material. After extraction, what do we do? We, like I am sending to him because he is a manufacturer. I am sending to him, he is a manufacturer. So in that way, we produce it by manufacturing some way or other. It can be textile, it can be steel, it can be electricity, anything, right? So extract, then produce. After production, what do we do?
Consume.
He sells and we take it. So we consume it. It can be food, it can be any other material like this one. We are consuming it in our training program, we are utilizing it. Right? All the things. So consume, and after say this is not working, dispose it. This is not working, dispose it. And after disposal, there can be two things. I mean, this is not usable for you, but somebody throws it to the dumping yard and somebody thinks the way which I will be saying now. So, it is a paradigm shift from the traditional concept of linear model of economy and EPCD2. So, this is the concept today we are. Like, you extract, produce, consume, dispose and deplete. Deplete means you are wasting material.
Can I?
No, whatever. So you are wasting material. So this is a traditional concept of linear economy, and what you have to do, you have to go to an elevated echelon. Echelon is level. You have to go to an elevated echelon of achieving zero waste by resource conservation. So, I have controlled your depletion. You cannot deplete it. I am taking you to an elevated echelon that instead of throwing it away, you think of zero waste. That means if you are throwing it away, that is waste. You are bringing that waste into the real life, into the mainstream. That is the elevated echelon, that now you are going for zero waste. What is that? How? Conservation of all the resources. What are the resources? First is the material, second is energy, and how it is possible. Because you know that if you manufacture it, you have a design. So if you think that we are going for a circular economy, then this may not say good. This may not be fit. So you have to start from the design level. Design the material, design the product in such a fashion that it can give you a result of zero waste. You can conserve the energy to a greater extent. You can reduce the material, like say previously if the raw material was 100 kg, now you select the material whose weight is 90 kg. If it is 90 kg, just think of it. It's not only 90 kg, but also whenever you are taking the raw material from the resource, you are bringing more material with the same transportation cost, with the same transportation fuel. So that saves you money and also saves you your resources, because petrol or diesel is required less. Electricity, if it is a train, then it is required less. So it's a chain. So now the change concept of design of production process, not only production process but the material also. One is the production process, second is the material selection for higher life cycle, and conservation of all kinds of resources like material and or energy, recovery through the processes. Energy, how energy can be recovered? Like you have a boiler, it is taking heat for heating the water, but there are a lot of losses also. If you just stand beside a boiler, you can't stand for 2 minutes. It is emanating heat. So what is that heat? Loss. So is there any possibility that tapping that loss heat and utilize for other thing? Like the light. Here, this much of light is not necessary because the natural light is there. So whether we can reduce some of the energy consumption. So this energy consumption means you are conserving the energy. So there are, first, if you want to conserve the energy, you must identify where there are losses in the existing system. Those are the scope for preventing the loss. So here, energy recovery through the processes, and this is very important, at the end of the life cycle of a specific use of a product, like what I was saying, it has a specific use. So when the specific use is not met, you cannot use the mobile, you cannot use the specs, you cannot use the projector, because it is not serving your purpose. So what you will do? Still fit to be utilized as an input material to a second production process in the value chain. This material will be still fit for use in the second material manufacturing, second or third or fourth. In some of the cases, we sometimes call this as a recycling. Right? One is you are giving for reuse, because it is not fit for you, but it can be fit for her, it can be fit for him, so you are giving it. This is also a kind of using the material. And the other thing is, this is not fit for anybody, for its intended use. So what you will do is, you break the material or find out which material is good, which material is bad. You can discard some of the bad materials for other use, not for throwing. But the good material you use for another manufacturing process. And the bad material also, you have to explore where it can be used. We have the possibilities. We have the processes where it can be used. It can be used for generating energy. What Dr. Aincho was saying, that the municipal waste, don't throw it away. We will use it for generation of the power. We will use for the generation of the agricultural product, the fertilizers. For recycling plastic packs, you are throwing it away. No. Take that material and use as a block, use as any other, manufacture any other material which is possible. Divide the technology, innovate the technology, explore whether there is an existing technology or not. Right? So, fit to be utilized as an input material to the new production process in the value chain with a closed loop material cycle. Why I am saying closed loop? You have extracted the material, produced the something product, used it, consumed it, it is reached at its end of life as a intended use, then you are taking it in the second manufacturing process. Are you throwing it away? Are you throwing it away? No. You are, so this is a cyclic process. So this is a closed loop cycle. So in circular economy, the process must be a closed loop cycle. Right? And what happens? This improves material efficiency. This improves the environmental sustainability because you are not throwing it away. It is not going to the dump yard. The dump yard will create lot of problem in the environment. It will create smell. It will create lot of gases like methane gas, which is injurious to health and the environment. It will create leachate, which goes inside the soil. It will go to the water aquifer. It will affect the vegetation. A lot of heavy metals and many other things are there. So you are protecting the environment, the people's life, and also the vegetation and other thing by utilizing that material, which gives you a second production process. And if there is a second production process with this material, what happens? Does it give you money? It gives you new product. If there is a new product, you sell it in the market. So if you sell it in the market, that means you have an economy. Who will run the recycling process? You have to recruit the people. So it creates the employment. So the circular economy gives you resource efficiency, material, of course the material efficiency, energy efficiency. It gives you the energy conservation. It gives you a business, new business. It gives you the opportunity for the employment, and as a whole, it gives you to reach the environmental sustainability. So do you think the circular economy concept is good? Yes? Huh? Tell me, why?
Because we are not, nowhere we are not disposing the application. We are not wasting the product. Whichever we produced earlier, we are not wasting that, and we are taking it and then byproduct, and we are using. For example, if it was a mobile phone, so there may be a lot of components which we can use. We can take the metals which have been in the mobile phone, and we can take it to the
extract different material. Yeah, why? Why circular economy is really beneficial for us in the society?
Beneficial for the environment, and it provides employment, it provides environmental sustainability, and this is nowadays the government is also increasing, and we should not contribute, we should see that anything that doesn't go to the environment, which is not good for the environment. So
yes, you?
So as we are creating a complete new ecosystem where we are inbuilding a cognizant mind to the producer also, creating a valuable product which could be still fit for reutilization. That's my point.
Yeah, you? Anybody?
So in simple terms, we are using the same resources more effectively and efficiently. But I have worked out, so what if the value which is created is less than the processing cost itself? So
Less than the
processing,
that means processing cost is more.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Yes, anybody? Why? Why circular economy is more useful for us?
It is more useful, first of all, environmental this, and then second of all, as the economy. So if we reuse the materials or try to reduce the economy, like okay, in my terms, like I used to sell shoes, and also when we used to reuse the material that we used to make, so obviously the cost of the shoes will go down, and like the overall for everybody it's a win.
Sure. Yes? Anybody?
So it helps us start.
Yeah, please.
So it helps us start the second production process, which is directly related to economic development of self and the nation, employment opportunity for self and the rest, and also for government as well. Any product that we sell, it adds up
Money.
to GST. It's money.
Sure.
So,
Yeah? Any of you?
Sir, circular economy is important because we are directly controlling the waste of material, and it is also eco-friendly for the environment.
You?
Reduce the waste.
Jode,
Reduce the waste products and
reduce the waste products.
It's no quiz going on.
Alright, you?
Ultimately, the products we generate from the wastes are eco-friendly, and the conservation of energy will last for long years in upcoming future
You?
also.
in the perspective of product, we are using scrap again for the different purpose. From the scrap, we are generating some economy. It helps in reducing the cost of first product itself. In that way, it helps in product development and industries.
Okay. But you know that why? The other parties say for a production process you need X amount of material. If you get some material from the first process, then you need now X minus Y raw material. Because Y raw material you are getting from as a secondary raw material from another process. So by that way, your cost reduction. Second thing, there are energy reduction and others may be little less, but you have to consider depending on the specific process. He has a point that, what's your name? Shreyans has a point that sometime the product which we are making out of this recycle and others, the process cost is more than the product cost. It may happen. You have to redesign the process. There is a scope for redesigning the process. So ultimately, if you have to design the business, you have to make a sustainable business. Otherwise, the business will go away. So that means if you make a product which the process cost is more than the product sell value, that means your business model has not been prepared properly. So we have a scope to look into it. The second part, this is one. There may be something that no, you cannot reduce the cost of the process. Your product cost is less than the cost of the process. Think in the way that if this goes to the dumping yard or you are disposing it, what is the cost of environment? You have to pay something. It may happen that your factory may be closed down by the pollution control board. If you go ahead with this, so that has a cost or not. So you have to think in that way also to compensate the more process cost. But my advice, redesign the process. You have the scope. It may happen that the design of the material, raw material, the proportion of the raw material, the involvement of the energy, the involvement of the people, and also in circular economy we ask for lesser number of processes, sub-processes. So in that way you have always a scope to redesign the process as long as you are not cost effective. I mean the process is not cost effective. So you have to design it. Yeah, somebody was raising hand now? Yeah.
I just want to mention one thing, that the production cost may be high, but see that sometimes the carbon reduction is your means of goodwill making also. Because industries are spending money to make that goodwill. Suppose just KLM Airlines, Dutch Airlines, they are spending huge money to reduce their carbon footprint per passenger. So even if the production cost of the recycled material is more, it has some social value or environment value also. That's why the industries, those who are polluting, they are going for the green production or green recycling, right? Maybe the cost may be higher, but it saves the natural resources and also it creates some employment also, right? That I want to add, I think.
Thank you. Yeah, he's right. So now I'll let it, because tomorrow I'll ask everybody this one without seeing any paper. That means you will grab it. If you understand, you can grab it. If you don't understand, you cannot. So in that way, do you have any confusion on this? Because why I am putting stress? In all my lecture on circular economy, I put stress on this. If I put stress on this with more time, rest of my time will be easy. If you don't understand what is circular economy, the rest of the lecture, wherever I'll say this, there will be a lot of questions. Sir, how is it? What is this? All this thing. But if it is clear to you, then the 3 days training will be very successful for you, for the lecturers. Right? So do you have any other confusion here on this definition? Please. Anybody? Any confusion? Any confusion? Any confusion? You? Okay. So can anybody read now? Because when he read it without understanding it. So his pause was different. But now after understanding this, if you read it, your pause will be different. Who will be interested to read it? Come.
Circular economy is a system-level approach to economic development paradigm shift from the traditional concept of a linear economy model of extract, produce, consume, dispose, and deplete to an elevated echelon of achieving zero waste by resources conservation through changed concept of design of production, process, and material selection for higher life cycles. Conservation of all kinds of resources, material and/or energy recovery all through the processes, and at the end of the life cycle for a specific use of the product will still be fit to be utilized as the input materials to a new production process in the value chain with the closed loop material cycles that improves not only resource efficiency but also resources productivity, benefit business and the society, creates employment opportunities and provides environmental sustainability.
Excellent. He could understand. I am quite sure. Okay. So you know that I was telling that you think that I'll go for circular economy and it starts moving. It's not that easy. Otherwise every people would have done it immediately. So this is also one of my models. Idea generation for product compatibility to adopt circular economy concept. Whenever you are designing a product, whenever you are conceptualizing a product, start thinking and decide that we will implement circular economy concept in this production process. This is the start of your circular economy journey. What is next? Eco-design of the product. You design as engineer or as management, you design the product earlier, but today your concept of design will be different. What are those? Resource conservation should be there. The energy, electricity, if it is traditional, or the, what is that fuel? Fossil fuel. So you should consider the energy will come from the renewable resources. That means you are reducing the extraction, you are reducing the fossil fuel consumption. Next, life should be long. The product which you are manufacturing should have a long life. That means at the end of its life cycle as a single intended use will be longer. That means you have to think of the recycle at a later stage. So you are conserving the material. If it is 1 year now, if the life is 1.5 years, then after 1.5 years only you have to take the raw materials. So you are saving the raw material for at least 6 months. Product life extension, of course, the same. Fewer resources used. Resources, what are the resources? Yes, what are the resources in a manufacturing process? What can be the resources? What are the resources?
Some machinery.
Natural resources, minerals, oil, energy, which is also a resource. Material, and also manpower. That's also a resource.
Water.
Yeah, water.
Water is a very important resource. Electricity or the energy is a very important resource, right? So all these resources, you try to reduce the use of number of resources. Then slowing resource loop. Like if the resource loop is bigger, you are slowing it and it should be made smaller. Right? That means you are utilizing or you are recycling or you are making it closer loop in a smaller circle. Reverse logistic. What is reverse logistic? Reverse logistics is if you have any wastage at any stage of production, there are a number of process loss. Each of the loss you have to tap. Like those people who has gone to any factory, you will find that there may be the possibility of always some process loss. The process loss not only the product, the process loss may be energy, the process loss may be water leakage, the process loss may be steam leakage, the process loss may be rejection of the materials, the process loss may be, say you are turning the material, the bars, material bars, everything is process loss. Reduce the process loss, number one, and wherever there is a possibility of loss, collect it and take it reverse. This way you are trending towards zero waste also. Zero waste means the amount of waste of all the resources should be zero. It may not be possible always, but you have to tend towards zero. And this is the way you can do it. And ultimately, this gives you benefit. Because loss means money. So if you tap those, that means you are gaining. And whenever you are gaining, you are also gaining with respect to the environmental loss. And the last one is ease of disassembly. Means you have this one. So it may got damaged. Don't go for purchase again. Ask for a repair person. Open it. Replace only a small part and use it. Like I'll give an example in my home. You know that the heating, what is that? Microwave. So 2 years back, the microwave was not working well. So I told it is around 7-8 years. So let us go for a new purchase. She told no. Let us try whether it works or not. I told, kya bhai? Let us go for a new one. Because there are technologies, advancements and all the other things. She told, forget about your technology advancement. You should think of your environment first because you are not to waste this material. So I told it cannot do anything. Then she called a repair person. She took the material, the whole equipment, and after 1 day, he called that, sir, it is running okay. So there were some parts which was damaged and I replaced it. And this is a story of during this COVID period, 2020, and even today, it's running well. So it saves my cost, it saves my depletion of that particular material, and it's running very well. Yes?
But sir, the new microwave could have used less electricity. That is.
Yeah, but you have to also see that how much is the electricity cost, because that was also that rating, that all the rating system is there, that is also under rating system. So in that way there are, of course there may be a possibility of electricity, but you have to trade off that which one you have to go for. So there are number of real life examples where we are in day-to-day activities implementing this concept, knowingly or unknowingly. So, you must have ease of disassembly so that you can take apart. And now today, if you go for this laptop, they do it. They have a small sub-assembly, take it out and do it. But you know what they do? They send that to their factory. They check which small part is not working properly, replace it, and again they give it to you also maybe. Your parts may be given to you maybe after 1 year. So this is good, because they are conserving the resources, and ultimately this is also cost effective. So whenever you are thinking for the design, circular economy, follow this. Second, the manufacturing process. This is I am telling you about the product, the first one. The second is the design of the manufacturing process. What? Energy efficient, lesser electricity, lesser water, lesser manpower, lesser number of machines, lesser number of processes. The sub-processes should be less. But ultimately the product quality should be same or higher. You must not compensate it, because you know that if you compensate with the, if you consider product quality little low, then your customer will not be interested to buy your product. So doing all this, your quality should be more, higher. Effective parameter control, waste you reuse in closed loop, product more sustainable and recyclable, robust reverse logistics, prioritize regenerative resources. What is regenerative resources? Like it should fix up so that it has a capability of reusing and recycling it. There are materials which you use once, after that its property is lost. You cannot go for recycling. So during design stage you have to also think of the process so that the material has a capability and it can develop the capability of recycling or reusing it. So these are the two things. Then these are all, if these two are done, then rest of the part will come automatically, right? The reuse potential of the material, enhanced reuse potential, recycle potential, material recyclable after use, and this is the way you can achieve zero inert after use, no impact on environment, zero waste and rejection. And sometimes, you know that in India, the government of India has done a great job in 2014, incorporation of Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. And then in 2016, we have revamped all the rules, solid waste management rules 2016, electronic waste management rule 2016, plastic waste management rule 2016. We have adopted a new rule which was not there in India, construction and demolition waste management rule 2016. Whenever you construct or you demolish building, there are a lot of materials. Demolish some road, dams, and all the bridges, all the construction. Huge material. What do? You throw it away. But no, all these materials are usable. In India, we have number of around 4 big recycling, CD recycling plant in Mumbai one, Ahmedabad one, in Delhi one. Delhi, the capacity is around 2,000 tons per day. But this is a huge potential for money making, for environmental sustainability. We have to do it. Huge scope. Electronic waste management rules 2016. In my opinion, what I have seen, the business, if you go for business with electronic waste, if you go for business with plastic waste, if you go for business with C&D waste, huge potential for making money. You should look into it. There is huge potential in India. There are plenty of space for you guys to enter into those business. Government also is helping a lot for initiating this type of business. And the other is water recirculation. We waste a lot of water through different processes. So that is also a good business. Then hazardous and other material management and transboundary movement. You know, hazardous material, most of the materials which are used in chemical industry coming out with the hazardous portion. What you are doing? Those hazardous portion, if it goes to Ganges, you can think of the situation. It is happening today in many of the places. But if you make use of this hazardous waste, biomedical waste, these are again business. You can recycle it. Biomedical waste, some of the things, not all, which are non-contaminating. Battery waste, huge, the small battery. Still we have a lot of scopes for the management of the small, but big battery, India is one of the leaders in the world for management of the big batteries. Big batteries, if there is any, disposal procedure, disposal possibilities, it has to go to the manufacturer. And you know that for all these, for electronic waste, for battery waste, for some of the plastic waste, we have in India incorporated EPR. What is EPR? Anybody from environment? EPR? Extended EPR?
Extended producer responsibility.
Extended producer responsibility. What does it mean? Breakfast, 5 minutes. EPR, extended producer responsibility. What is that? If I am a producer, my responsibility not only extended up to selling of the product, but also, not only up to the selling of the product, but also now my responsibility is I am selling it. I have to track it whether that sold product is up to the mark for use or not, whether this is disposable or not. If it is disposable, I have to take it back. My responsibility. And for electronic waste, EPR has appointed PRO, Producers Responsible Organization. So their responsibility for collecting the materials, the e-waste from different sources. And then it goes to the recycling process. In India, the recycling process of e-waste has a greater scope to improve. We have only a very few units in who are involved in e-waste recycling. So you guys, the young guys, go for business. And business with waste material has a huge scope in our country. One of those are business with electronic waste, business with plastic waste, business with what I say, the third one? Construction and demolition waste. Right? So there are several things. But you know that in India we are very happy that in 2016 the government thought that circular economy is the way of life. Government thought that the 3R, reduce, reuse and recycle, this is the way of life. If you want to sustain, this is the only way which can give you mileage. And that's why today, I was telling about the Swachh Sarvekshan and Swachh Bharat Mission. In the Swachh Bharat Mission, as you was also telling, that municipal waste management was enormously bad in 10 years back. 2014, we have started Swachh Bharat Mission and we have encouraged the municipal bodies to align their waste management, to align their sanitation process, the training process, strengthen. In 2016, we incorporated Swachh Sarvekshan. What is Swachh Sarvekshan? There are a number of parameters. I'll give you all the parameters and it is also available in the website. On the basis of that, the municipal corporation or municipal bodies, ULBs we call it, urban, local bodies, urban local bodies. So what we do is, in 2016, this was a competition which was, and a survey, which was initiated by the government of India. Only 76 municipalities came forward to participate in that. What is that? There are parameters. You will be setting those parameters for your work, what you are doing, like say, collection of the waste, recycling of the waste, reusing of the waste, business from recycling, setting biogas plant, setting composting, setting recycling plant, all these things, helping the young guys. On all these parameters, the municipalities were rated by the third body. On those parameters. 2016, only 76 municipal bodies came forward to be assessed. 2022, 4,435 municipal bodies, town, they came forward. They are now assessed. And in nearly 5,000 municipalities, we have today the separation of waste. And what does it mean, separation of waste? The waste which you are generating at your home, if you mix it, throw it away into the dumping yard. But if you separate all the waste, that has a value. If you ask somebody who are dealing with and hand over the mixed waste, he will tell you, sir, कुछ पैसा तो दो transport के लिए, and for my labor, then I'll take it. But if waste are separated, you will bargain with them. Hey, you will give 5 rupees per kg for this, 2 rupees per kg, 10 rupees per kg, and take it away. So by this way, you can generate interest, you can generate business, you can help in recycling and also environmental sustainability. And this is happening. So in my opinion, next 5 to 10 years, if government of India going like this, then we can place India as a significant waste manager in the world map. Now India is growing. We are not to think of that we are not pro-circular economy. We are very much pro-circular economy. Only thing is that young person like you should understand first what is circular economy. If you understand, I am quite sure that each of the lectures which you have set for next 3 days, you will be enjoying and you will learn, and also you have to participate in the hands-on exercise, because hands-on exercise will give you an insight how the things can be implemented, how the things can be done. And hands-on exercise will help you also identifying the project in your industry or SME. After this course, there will be 2-week internship. So with this, I will end here. I have number of, but I will be here throughout. And today, tomorrow also I have something. But today, my lecture was to give you an impression of what is circular economy and in which way you have to change your mindset from now onwards about waste management, circular economy. Whatever you knew, forget it. And take all the things which we have been giving you next 3 days.